Awesome. Good morning, everybody. What is shaking? It's me, Jason G, Jason Gulick. It's the Goo and Deeds podcast. We're joined with my co-host here, Mark Deeds Klodzinski. And this morning, we're super stoked to have the owner of Revive Power Washing, also sharing wins, mistakes, and lessons from growing a multi-million-dollar service business, Jon Karmazyn. Jon, good morning. Happy Wednesday. July 29th already, dude. Can you believe it?
I can't. It's crazy. Summer just blew by. But I'm excited to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Dude, we're excited to have you. To be honest, I'm actually nervous this morning. You and I don't have like a lot of our guests I have like a long-standing relationship with, and I know pretty well before I get on air. And you and I don't really have that kind of back and forth yet, but I really hope to gain that today. I've seen you at a couple of the conventions. I know you were a speaker at the Huge in years past. You own a power washing business, and you do some business coaching. So can you do Deeds and myself and all of our friends a solid? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I 14 years in the home service space now. Started the business as just kind of a side hustle. Didn't know if it was going to turn into anything. My prior career was in the construction world. I was a project manager for a large general contracting company. And I loved it. Honestly, I still love the construction industry. But I was going through it in sort of the 2008, 2009 housing crisis, if anybody remembers that.
Absolutely.
It was a time. And we only did commercial at the construction company. So when the residential market dried up, all those contractors came into the commercial world and they had no idea what they were doing. And they were underbidding things left and right. And my job turned from project manager into basically contract negotiator and attorney. And I was in my mid to late 20s. And I was like, I don't want to do this for another 30 years. This is miserable. So I've always had an entrepreneurial kind of bug and spirit. My father was a welder. He had his own shop ever since I was born.
Message on your phone.
What's that?
Oh, I got notifications on the stupid thing.
Oh.
I've had this thing a week. I turned it off.
Yeah, so I've always had the entrepreneurial bug. Just kind of, I did some things in college on the side, little side hustles here and there. And one day I was just like, I want to do something on my own. And sort of like power washing was something that kind of came up. And one of the guys that I worked with had an old power washer in his shed that he couldn't get to work. And he knew I like to tinker on things. So he gave it to me one day and said, if you can get it running, you can keep it. So I checked out on YouTube, watched a quick video, found out how to get it going. And I power washed the side of my house. And I was like, that was actually really satisfying.
Yeah, right.
That was pretty cool because it was coated in green. It was nasty. So I got that done. No idea what I was actually doing, right? I was just blasting away. And then went around back and started power washing the deck. Well, I got about halfway through, and then the power washer just literally blowing smoke and blew up. So I was like, oh, crap. All right, I got to finish this. I can't leave it half done. I didn't have a ton of money at the time. So I'm like, I'll go in and check on Craigslist, see if I could find a quick replacement here to get the job done. And as I'm scrolling through Craigslist, I find a listing that says commercial power washer truck for sale. Will teach you how to start your own power washing business. And that was the light bulb moment for me. I didn't even know power washing was a business, to be honest with you, at that point. Like in the commercial construction space, we hired guys to power wash, but I didn't know like it was a standalone business. So I reached out to the guy. I was curious, and fast forward about maybe a month after that initial contact, we secured a small business SBA loan. I bought the truck. I had a website, and we were up and running as a official side hustle. So yeah, that was my beginnings.
That was your foray into it. So
it was.
You gave us a little background. I'll give you a little background on us. Deeds, you give him a little info on yourself because you kind of, a little similar, right?
Very similar. Yeah. I was looking for a part-time job to have a third kid. So I looked out the window. My deeds lady in my neighborhood stopped in front of the house with a clipboard. She's like, I'm going to check the mail real quick, honey. So I go out and said, what's up, Deb? She's like, well, we're sending letters out to everybody in the neighborhood. It's nothing personal, but you've got like black stuff on the side of the house. We'll get it taken care of. So I went in the house. I closed the application part-time to Target and said, honey, I'm going to start a pressure washing business. She goes, what? So I told her, and fast forward, I did a neighbor down the street's exterior perimeter fence of the neighborhood, and I did it for free. Took me about like 3 or 4 hours cleaning it. People are like, wow, great job. I've got a driveway you need cleaning. So from there, it just spiraled into that. So I'm the same humble beginnings. It all started with a little power washer and a dream.
That's awesome.
So we broadcast on our page, but we also broadcast in the pro window cleaning group. I've been window cleaning since the early 2000s. I started my business in 2012, and I'm a residential window cleaner. I do some commercial work, but I'm a 95% residential window cleaner in Phoenix, Arizona. You talked about growth on the side of your house. You're based, so to do a little research, I did a little, checking out on you. You're based out of Pennsylvania, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So you guys have some live action and some growth and some all that good stuff. So we don't have too many, like, people don't power wash or wash their houses out here very often, but I know it's a big jam. And a lot of our watchers are always, not always, a lot of our watchers also looking to expand businesses. The IWCA partners with the PWNA, it's kind of like a hand in hand type deal. Do you get into any window washing, or you just strictly doing the power washing?
So for years we've only done power washing, but recently we've expanded our commercial footprint a little bit, and with that has come some window cleaning. We only do exterior though, water fed work. We don't do any interior stuff.
Basically cleaning up after yourself.
Sort of, yeah, sort of. But we've done. We just did a big 6-story apartment complex.
Sweet.
Wow.
2 weeks ago. We also do dryer vent cleaning. So that was cool. We went in, we cleaned all the dryer vents, and then afterwards we came back and did all the windows for them. So actually after this, I'm going to look at another property of that same group with my commercial sales guy to take a look and see if it's something that we can tackle. So so we've ventured into the window cleaning space. I'm very familiar with it. Like,
I was busting chops totally. I'm not throwing shade at you, man, because you know how power washers and everybody likes to clean up, but then don't clean up the glass.
No, I got you. Yeah. Man.
I was not throwing shade. It was
no. It's a real thing though. I mean, you bring it up and it's a real thing, because I tell you what, our sales guy will go out on residential and talk about washing the house, and he'll talk about doing the windows too. And then they're like, no, we're good. We don't need it. And then inevitably we get a phone call. Well, my windows are spotted. Well, we told you.
Yeah.
With hard water, you're going to have spotty windows. There's nothing we can do about that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So, you do coaching, business coaching as well. And what's the name of the business coaching? Or is it a business? How do you get your clients? And what are some of the things that you work on?
Yeah. So I used to be a coach with the Conquer program years ago when that was.
I remember that. Was that Tommy Mello involved in that too?
No, he wasn't. That was Brandon Vaughn and Josh Latimer way back in the day. But so the Conquer program, that's no longer a thing anymore. But I was a coach there, and then after the Conquer program sort of dissolved, I still love helping people and coaching.
Yeah.
I was in the Conquer program. That's sort of what really helped us grow our business significantly, was being coached by somebody. So since it helped me so much, I wanted to be able to give back and help others. So I just kind of threw my hat out there and said, you know what, I'd love to work with a couple people if it's a good fit and help them grow their business. My brain works very systematically. So I really like talking about identifying where the bottleneck is in the business And what do we have to put in place so that this isn't a bottleneck anymore? Because as you grow, as your business grows, I'm sure everybody's experienced this. You come across a ceiling and a bottleneck at some point in the business, and you just feel stuck, and it starts to not be fun anymore, and it sucks. And it's like I've been there. I get there actually more often than I'd like, but it's a good thing because it means you're growing, right? Unless you're coming across the same thing over and over again, then that's a problem. But so I like to have conversations with people, help them work through those bottlenecks as quickly as possible. And most of the time, I've experienced that. So I like to coach from my experience, not just like theory. I won't give somebody advice on something I don't have personal experience with.
Oh man, that's one of my favorite sayings. Like, I can't tell you something that I haven't lived and or done, or like I can only, I'm with you on that one. It's like, and a lot of times people will ask me about something and it's out of my wheelhouse. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not qualified to answer that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't.
Be honest with people, you know, you don't have to be the know-it-all guru. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, you mentioned Tommy Mello before. Like, Tommy doesn't know everything, but he knows people who know a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Tommy knows a lot. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
He knows people who know a lot of things. So it's all about who's around you. And if you could be humble enough to just say, man, I don't have the answer to that, but I'd actually love to know. So I'm going to go find out. And if I find out, I'll let you know.
So that's, you know, what's wonderful about that too, is usually when somebody asks me a question that I don't have an answer to, the next logical thing for me to do is try to find out that answer anyway. Right. So it's like, it's a learning experience for everyone.
Yeah.
So tell me about, is that kind of basically what you just described without saying it, is sharing wins, mistakes, and lessons from growing a multi-million-dollar service business? Can you tell me about that?
So, man, I don't know where to start. You know,
that's a beautiful setup though. Thank you. I appreciate that. You just led me right into it.
Yeah. So I think, you know, going back to the Conquer program, they did a very good job. Brandon and Josh did a great job of setting up sort of how a service business grows and the different levels of growth in a service business. They called it the 5 levels of business. And it's like level 1, like you're literally wearing all the hats, right? You're on the truck, you're answering the phone, you're scheduling appointments, you're doing the sales, you're sending the invoices, you're ordering the materials, you're doing the work in the service. Like that's level 1. That's where everybody starts. Well, most people
level
start.
1.
And then, you know, then you grow level 2, you either get an assistant in the office or you hire your first tech, right? You get some help in the field. And then from there, level 3, maybe you get an office assistant, somebody to answer the phones while you're out, or maybe you hire a salesperson because maybe you're just not good at sales, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe you hate sales, but you love doing the thing. That's okay. Like find whatever it is that you want to, the lane you want to stay in, and hire somebody else for the thing that you're not good at. Find somebody else, like I mentioned about Tommy, like he finds the people that are really good at the things to really explode the business.
Yeah.
Find those people and you bring those on. So level 3, you kind of are like, you become a manager because you have like some other people in play in the business. You maybe have an office, you know, manager or somebody answering the phones and scheduling appointments and jobs and doing the invoicing. And then you have a tech or 2 out in the field doing the work. And maybe you're doing the sales, because most owners are good at doing sales, right? Most people that started a business, you know it from top to bottom, so you can speak the best to it. But also downside to that, with talking with people, right, is we sell ourselves short. You know, we're not pricing jobs the way they really should be to be profitable. And, you know, we go out and we, you know, our heartstrings strings get tugged on a little bit by somebody, and we're like, yeah, you know what, this should be like
I'm a sucker
job, but I'll do it for $1,200, you know. And then you go out there and you lose your shirt on it and you're like, oh, why did I do that? This was stupid, you know. So but anyway, I'm getting off topic. But that was, you know, level 3, you kind of have a bit of a team growing there, and it's helping you be able to multiply your efforts. Because, you know, when you're in level 1, there's only so much time in a day. You can only do so much. So you need to start having people join your team, build a team, so that you can multiply your efforts. And then level 4, kind of you're like a general manager, if you will. You know, the manager of a sports team. You have departments. You've got a sales department. You've got multiple trucks probably at this time. You've got an office staff. And everybody, you know, you've built systems in place so everybody knows what they're supposed to do every day. They don't have to come to you and ask you a million questions on what to do next because you've built a process. They know what to do. And then level 5 is kind of you've replaced yourself as the GM role, and you kind of become more of a business owner.
True owner.
And then, you know, at that point, level 5, you kind of start looking at other opportunities. Okay, how do I expand this? Do we roll into a new market? Do we expand out into a new territory? Do we acquire another business? Maybe there's somebody that is looking to retire, and maybe we buy that company and roll them into ours. Maybe there's another service that we want to add, and maybe we do an acquisition that way. Maybe there's like a complementary service. You know, if you're only doing window cleaning, maybe there's a power washing company and the guy's been doing it for 35 years and he's looking to finally retire. Maybe you have a conversation, you look to acquire that book of business and roll that service in again. So that's sort of the level 5 conversation of where, or you can just sit back and, you know, enjoy the fruits of what you've built too.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with that either.
To each their own, correct?
Right. It's all about why you started the business. And, you know, if you've been in business more than a minute, you'll realize that as you grow your business, your why will change over time because your season of life that you're in is going to change with you as you continue to grow the business. So, you know, when I started the business, my kids were little and I wanted to build something that I could have free time to spend with my family. That was my purpose, my why. That's why I started the company, because I wanted to be able to I wanted to go to their school events and their sporting events and all that and be present with them and go on vacation without having to worry about anything. Now, I'm 14 years into it. My oldest just graduated high school this year. Things are starting to change and look a little differently for me. So it's, you know, as you grow in business, seasons of your life change as well. And you may want to pivot and adjust. And what your original why was might change over the course of your journey.
Yeah. And we're all in different seasons. And that's one of my favorite words, to terms, phrases, because a season can be, it's so weird in my mind. It could be literally like a season of fall or summer. It could also be a couple years, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's just my own philosophy. And you know, I guess that's goes back to faith and biblical and all that other stuff too. But I've lived some lives, man, in some seasons, and I feel like I'm kind of exiting one and entering another, and you know, life changes. So as long as we can continue to adapt, that's what makes us successful business owners, right?
Right.
Deeds, what say you, man? John's got all
Nothing.
sorts of
I'm just
answers,
soaking it all
brother.
in. I've got an angry squirrel over in a pine tree just squirreling away over there, so I keep muting the mic. But everything is good. I like what John's saying. It all makes sense. And, you know,
Dude, leveling up, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's definitely what it's about.
And it's not scary, right? Like, people always think, oh man, I got to level up. I have to get to the next level. I have to get to the next level. It's not always the case. I mean, sometimes you can make it to level 3 and that's where you want your business to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right?
No, and that's kind of like, and that's another discussion that Deeds and I and a lot of our friends too that are in the chat. I want to give some friends chat too. Mike Matthews, the pres of the IWCA, Scott Aaronkranz is in the building. Damian Schreckengoss, the homie Damian, the window cleaner out of Colorado. Jake Van O, Nick Anderson, a Clearer Vision out of Wichita, I want to say. Grace and Craig, I believe, are in the building. Deeds, do you see anybody else on your end?
Yeah, we've got Nick Anderson. We've got Jeremy. Good morning. Adam Hogan, Kadreen, Squeegee Chick, Corey, Nathan Pickett, Jay Camaro. Good morning, guys. Corey.
So we got
Yeah, good
everywhere
morning,
from
Jason Rans.
Idaho, San
Spectrum.
Diego, all the way out in Utah, Colorado. Man, everyone's saying good morning. That's great to see everybody.
Love that.
Squeegee Chick in the building too. Right on, right on.
And San Diego, they're up early. I love
Yeah,
that.
I'm in Arizona too, so it's a
Yeah,
5:30 a.m. start for us.
Love that.
And Deeds is out of Houston, Katy, Texas, so it's a 7:30 start for him.
Yeah.
The goal when we first started doing this show, John, is Deeds and I went to a IWCA back in February of 25. We had such a great time hanging out with a bunch of different window cleaners that we kind of just wanted to keep it rolling. So we started doing a show, and it was just he and I, and we kind of like at that point in the season in his life, he
John
had been
Magda.
just John Magnus in the building too. Anyways, the season in his life, he was going through some stuff, and I had just gone through some stuff as well. And it felt like, man, coffee with a buddy in the morning was great. Why don't we just keep doing it? So we kept doing it, and then we would throw it on YouTube, and then we throw it in the pro window cleaning. And then people were like, why don't you guys do it live? So then we started doing it live, and yeah, and then people started joining. And after about 50 episodes, we started having guests, and now we're like 220 or something in. I don't know.
That's awesome. And it's great that you guys are doing this, because I actually just had a conversation with somebody yesterday who I got introduced to through somebody, because they just went full time with their business and they've been struggling.
Yeah.
It's they hit the summer like wall.
Yeah.
Midsummer, it's like, oh man, spring was great, and now all of a sudden it's not as great as it was, right? I think if most of the country feels that in some regard, right? It's
one time a year at least.
And then boom. And I've talked to a lot of people across the country, and it feels like this July has been more dramatic than most years. Of like, June was awesome. I talked to at least 3 people who said they had record Junes, and now July is like the worst since COVID. And it's like, man, like, so, but I had this conversation with this person yesterday, and I said that, and she said, you know, it doesn't really make it any better, right? It doesn't make the situation any better, but I feel a lot better knowing that it's not just me. So it's great that you guys are doing this, because conversations like this can happen, and know like, man, it's not just me. Like, other people are also in the same boat that I'm in. They're struggling with the same things. And if you can have a conversation, man, that's awesome.
That's awesome, man. And that's exactly right. So in like, the other thing we like to focus on too is like, as small business owners, the majority of us are either trying to start something on their own, have started something on their own, or are happy with what they're doing, right? And we figured, why not also try to start your day off on the right foot, so that way you can go out to your clients and be in a good mood. And then maybe if you get them in a good mood, hey, maybe that energy transfer will keep going. And why not make, things a little happier around, right?
Right. That's right.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Huge, because where I first saw you, and I crossed paths with you a couple times, was at the Huge, and I think it was 2024. There was a mastermind dinner or something along those lines. Does that ring a bell?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
The steakhouse in downtown, is that right too? Something like that?
Yeah.
The Standard.
The Standard, yep.
So you have this thing about you too, dude. You look very familiar to me. You either have a familiar face, you look like a TV star or like a sportscaster or something, but you just have this look about you, and it's unintimidating, which is awesome too. Like, you're open to have conversation, and I just felt comfortable around you. And a lot of times too in our business, everybody's trying to put on a bravado or like some type of I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. And I didn't feel that with you. So I felt super comfortable around you. And I don't know about you, but when I get to these events too, I kind of like to people watch, right?
Yeah.
And see who's talking to who, and who's making moves or who's trying too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you seem comfortable in your own skin, and I was just like, man, that dude seems pretty chill. I gotta find out what's up with him. So I'm really glad that we're having this conversation, man. It means a lot that you took the time out of your day to do this.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I'm glad
I
you reached out. It was,
I think
yeah,
you were speaking at that one, weren't you?
it was. Yeah. Yeah. I did a talk at that one too. I might have, was that the one I co-emceed that one with Sid too on the main stage, just getting things rolling with him. So I think that was either 20. No, that was 24. Yeah.
And you guys crushed, dude. Sid always crushes. There's something too about him that like I can't even describe it. It's
He's got
like
that Tony
knowledge,
Danza thing.
dude. It's like knowledge and
Yeah.
knowledge and comfort. Like it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. You get around people, certain people, and they make you feel better. And he's one of those dudes.
Yeah.
And he's actually helping some of our friends out. We're giving away a ticket this week on Friday. Anybody who wants to go, give us a shout. Put ticket into the chat. We'll enter you on the spinning wheel. And oh shoot, we'll see you there. Deeds and I are going to be there. I think the 26th, 27th, 28th at least. I'm Now I may be going straight from Phoenix to Orlando, then Orlando to Salt Lake, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing yet. So I'm glad I didn't buy my ticket yet. So
I will say this on, I have no affiliation with the huge convention. I love the event that they put on every year. My first, and I said this on stage when I was there in 2024, my first event that I went to, my wife and I went to the huge in 2013 when it was in Nashville. And it was like, it was eye-opening because we'd never been to anything like that. We're fresh in business. We'd literally just started like months earlier. And it was, like I said earlier, it was so awesome to get around people who were doing the same thing as we were, seeing people who were like successful in it and humble enough to have conversations with us. And, I met Josh Latimer there, and I remember having a conversation with him, and I was like, this guy's just like telling us all like the secrets on what to do to like get customers. Like, this is awesome. Like, he's got the experience. He's done this. So if you haven't been before, highly recommend it. If you have been before, again, I recommend going again. And if you've been and you just didn't feel like the speakers or the classes really resonated with you, that's fine. Still go, because your people are there. Have the conversations outside the classrooms with those people, because honestly, every time I go to these events, the conversations I have at dinner time or a lunch or a coffee in the morning, almost they 10x the value of what I paid to get there, because I walk away with something I was like, that was it. That's what I needed to hear.
And just like dryer vents, I'm sure you clean dozens of dryer vents a month. You make a lot of, that's a good percentage of your business that was added probably by a guy you were talking to at the huge.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, and one of the things too that we have, both Deeds and I have shared about our experiences. Deeds has been to, I think, 5 or 6. I've been to, I think this is my 4th or 5th. Every single year that I go, I pick something else up. Exactly like what you said. I leave with more than what I came with. And I don't mean swag. And yes, you do get swag when you're there. But I come back with more knowledge, and I have re-solidified my friendships. I have gained. I can't even tell you, man. My life has changed within months every single time. The first time I went, my goal was to get my hands on a water fed equipment machine. I too went with my wife. I was nervous as shit. I didn't have any friends in the industry outside of you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know anybody. And I'm still like, now I know some people, but like, I'm still just a dumbass residential window cleaner. But hey, I have a lot of fun doing it. And I am like that guy that you talked about too. I'm not like trying to level up. Like, I don't need to get to level 10, man. I'm a little extra cash is always good. So I'm actually looking to expand my business this year. We're going to have a guest on Friday, Grant Fields from Thunder Lighting. And they're going to be at the Huge again this year. And hey man, I'm in the market. So you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go learn from somebody who knows what the F they're talking about, you know? Deeds does the power washing, does the window cleaning, does some Christmas lights. So he's got his hands in a couple of different cookie jars.
Yeah, I
And
offer
it's
the trifecta.
yep. And his favorite.
Gutter cleaning. I love gutter cleaning. I'm a huge fan because it's so easy to estimate to for the most part clean. You know, it's
Yep.
got 50 feet in the garage, 50 feet in the front of the house. It's XYZ. Oh, I'm done in an hour. Great. So,
Yep.
you know, it's just like window cleaning. It can be quick and right to the point, or it can be a pain in the ass and screens and all that fun stuff.
It's like anything. It's great until it's not, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's everything's coming
So
up Millhouse.
everything's coming up, Millhouse. So you said about the learning at different times of the day too, right? So Deeds and I are going to host a sticker exchange and coffee. I believe it's going to be Thursday morning, probably 6:30 a.m. We do it nice, bright and early because we do a show at 8:30, and I think they usually will do their announcements or their opening speech around 8:30 or 9 or something like that too. So we made we'll probably do it from 6:30 on, either Wednesday or Thursday. We got to solidify that, but
Figure it out.
everybody brings their stickers. We all swap them out. A lot of times, some of our friends will make personalized, goofy ones. We like to poke fun at each other. There's been some interesting ones out there. So that's for sure.
That's fun. I like that. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm bringing my daughter's coming with me this year.
Cool.
The Huge. So she's 16. She's going to be 16 at that point, but she's taken an interest in business. So she's pretty pumped to come, and she's actually missing the first 3 days of school.
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, she's missing the first 3 days of school. But she's like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to learn more coming here than I am going to be the first 3 days of school. So I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be a really great time.
Yeah, I too have a 16-year-old. If I could get him to do any work, that'd be a miracle. He dedicates a lot of time to athletics and stuff like that. So,
so
it
it's
doesn't
his own
have
form of work.
Yeah, it is his own form of work. But trust me, if I told him he could go to Orlando and miss a couple of days of school, he'd be all over it. He would promise to work and then never, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
So how many kids do you have?
I have 2.
16 and how old?
18.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, that's the one that just graduated high school?
Yes.
And how'd that go for you? You doing okay? The eldest is another thing we talk about on this show is on what we're going in our personal lives and how it's affecting us, mental health and stuff like that. And I've openly shared, man, last summer I had a kid going into kindergarten and a kid getting his driver's license, and I was a wreck, man. And I had one kid who's getting engaged, so I got almost 28, 16, and 6.
Wow.
So I was all over the place last year emotionally, man. Whew.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, I tell you what, that's emotionally, it was graduation. It tore me up. It was hard.
I bet.
But it's what it's the next phase of life, right? It's the next season for them, next season for us. And it's exciting. I'm excited for them to go out. I'm excited for her to find her next venture, what she wants to do. She didn't want to go to college because she didn't know what she wanted to do. And I'm proud of her for sticking to her guns and not saying, the pressure of everybody saying, oh, where are you going to college? Asking her that in her senior year as the year's coming to a close. Oh, where are you going? And her just being like, I don't know what I want to do. So I'm not going to waste my time going to college right now. And the money, more importantly, going to college, because college is so expensive. If I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm not going to get a degree in something that's not going to help me in whatever I want to do eventually. So she's taking a year off. She's taking a year off. She's going to figure things out, because she's heard us talk over all the years that we've had the business. We've hired guys that are working for us. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? But it's a path that so many people take. They go to school, they get a degree, they're not working in their field.
Or don't even want to.
Right. Or they don't even want to anymore
Communication.
because they get through it and they're like, well, this is stupid. I don't actually want to do this. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when I started, I wanted to be an architect. In high school, I was like, I want to be an architect. That seems like such a cool job. I like buildings and all that. Man, I went to a community college for 2 years in an architecture program. And afterwards, I'm like, I feel like a glorified artist. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, this isn't what I want to do.
Yeah.
I figured that out. And then I found a program that was geared towards construction management. And I'm like, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I thought I was going to be doing when I was an architect. So fortunately, I was able to figure that out before I, finished a 4-year degree in architecture and worked for an architecture firm for 2 years and was like, oh, really? I don't, this isn't what I want to do. So, it's those conversations that we have at home with our kids that, it maybe seems like it's not hitting home in the moment, but now it's like, okay, yeah, she was paying attention. She was listening.
They're sponges, man.
Yeah.
Jake Van Orden, one of our like a show contributor, a guy that comes in all the time, a buddy of the show, says his daughter's a flyer gal 3 days a week in the summer, and she flyers like 4 hours a day. It's amazing what getting flyers out does. If you have kids 13 or older, get them out there running flyers with you while you work or something,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. And especially, I'm no tax expert here and I'm not a financial planner by any means. But...
Actually, Jake is.
Oh, perfect. Well,
Yeah.
Get your kids on your payroll and start contributing to their retirement. Because, man, if you can help them get a leg up on that, that's huge. So,
oh, yeah. Hey, what's the weather like treating you out there, John, in Pennsylvania? You guys muggy out there? How's things treating you?
Yeah, summer's been pretty good so far, but we hit the July muggy, humid, just hot, miserable. We had a heat wave a couple weeks ago. We were over 100 for 2 or 3 days, and then fortunately it wasn't humid with the heat, but now it's gotten to the point where the humidity's settled in. Every morning I wake up and my windows are all fogged up and condensated, and so it'll probably be like this through the middle of September, and then it starts getting nice again.
There you go. Hey, Deeds, we got our man Frank say what's up to us from Amsterdam.
Let's see how it's going to
Morning,
Harlem.
boys and girls. Pride Month. To be honest, all these pride demonstrations. I was in the 80s. I was a bouncer in a club, in a discotheque, and there became people from all gay, bisexual, midget, transgenders. Everybody leave each other. You can do what you want in the 80s, 90s. But these days, you want all these pride manifestations. Ooh. It's not my cup of tea. Anyway, it's a boiling 90 Fahrenheit over here. It's 9:30. I started 1 hour ago. And beautiful conditions.
Nice tank top, Frank.
Stay hydrated.
Looks familiar.
That's my only advice. That's saying I'm gonna drink a cup of coffee, I think, somewhere. Cool. Okay. Have a nice day, guys. Stay cool. Stay safe. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Very nice. Very hot in Holland right
John,
now.
you didn't know you were coming on an international show, did you?
I didn't. No, that was a nice surprise.
Yeah, he's a hoot, man. Frank effing Rave 777. Frank's gonna have a birthday next week. Happy early birthday, Frank. So, this summer you're going to the Huge. Hopefully we get a cross pass and have some conversations. We would love it if you join us at the sticker exchange. I'll keep you posted on when we're going to do that.
Sure.
Definitely more than welcome to bring some stickers if you want to. Pass them around, and we did when I got home last from the IWCA PWNA. I took all the stickers and made a special bucket out of it. A lot of fun. So we're really looking forward to the one that's coming up. And you're bringing your daughter, you said, to this one.
Yep.
Have you mapped out any speakers, or who are you looking most forward to seeing?
I honestly haven't looked at the schedule yet. So we're just on vacation last week with the family vacation. So I haven't dove into that yet. So I will have to check that out. I know my daughter definitely wants to look at it because she's like, she's interested in a couple things specifically, she said, and she just wants to make sure that she's not going to be sitting in something and being bored. And I said, that's fair. It needs
I don't
to be
blame
relevant.
her.
Yeah, she doesn't need to learn about taxes and anything like that yet. She's more concerned with like the marketing side of things and how to get customers and delivering a good service and all that. So yeah.
There's bound to be a lot of good speakers who cover all those bases. So
absolutely.
just figuring it out.
Yep.
Well, that'll be awesome. I'm sorry about that. So what does the rest of your week look like? And what does your day-to-day as the owner now look like? You're at level 5. If you were if you're going through your kind of the stuff that we just talked about earlier today, what does a day-to-day operation look like for you these days?
Well, I would say I'm actually probably more in level 4 right now because we had some staff changes. Our operations manager that had been with us for 12 years, 11 years, he moved on. He had a great opportunity come his way, so he moved on. So we had to replace him in the springtime, like beginning of this year. So guy came in, so I really dove back into the business to really spend time with him and make sure that we were getting set up on the right foot. He didn't have experience in the power washing space necessarily. He had really great leadership abilities, but he didn't have power washing, background. So equipment and processes and all that, it was like training somebody from, scratch. So I really dove in over the last 3 months and put a lot of focus in with him, and he's doing really well now. And then, like I said earlier, we've also expanded into more commercial work. So I was able to find and recruit a commercial division head that has a lot of experience. I found somebody who's built and done this before in a different industry, and was able to recruit him on board to really build up our commercial side of the business. That's something that when I started the business by myself, out running, part-time, I didn't have a lot of time to go out and sell. So I would just go out and be like, I'll see if I can sell washing a hotel. Because if I can wash a hotel, that's, $4,000 or $5,000 versus if I could sell that in the same amount of time I could sell a house, well, that's a no-brainer. So we kind of started with commercial, but then as it grew and my time got, my ability to put more time into that became less and less. Obviously the commercial suffered. So now that we have somebody in place there, but again, with that, bringing somebody else on, it was a new industry to them. I'm still having to go through and help. He's got the power washing down now. He's got the gutter cleaning. He's got the dryer vent cleaning. Now we do Christmas lights too. So now we're coming into the Christmas light season. So after we do the window cleaning one today, we're going to go look at a couple Christmas light jobs and start getting him in the loop on that. So, I think overall my week, we have our team meetings on Tuesday. We have our leadership meetings right after that. So Tuesdays I have like kind of company meetings. But outside of that, it's pretty flexible. And I'm always checking, making sure that our numbers are on pace. Looking at the sales team numbers, making sure that those guys are doing, holding true to their numbers and what we need them to hit. Because without them, the schedule's not full, right? And then everybody's suffering. So, but even before that is the marketing side of things. So how many leads are we getting? Where are they coming from? July's been tough. It really dried up a lot compared to the spring, and like very abruptly too. So it's been a challenge through July to keep the momentum going. But that's where, I play a lot with touching and contacting our existing customers again. When the inbound leads slow down, man, we go hard on our customer list and leverage that. And so many people, you're sitting on a gold mine with your existing customers, and so many people don't tap into them because they're afraid that they're going to be pestering them or bothering them. It's like, come on, there's so many people.
We're afraid to ask.
Send out 5 emails a day to you and you don't get upset, and you're worried about sending 1 email every 2 months. Like, come on, that's just ridiculous. Nobody's going to get upset about that. And if they do, then you just caught somebody on a bad day, really, is what it comes down to.
Yeah. And I don't even do email. I do text, because the way I started my business, it was all personal and it was me, right?
Yeah.
And it still is me. I mean, I have a guy that does the majority of my work these days, but it's always still me that's you're getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My phone number is my phone number.
I love text. Text is, we get great responses. It's almost immediate. Yeah, we do a combination of text and emails for sure.
Yeah. Have you been to the IWCA PAWNA? Did you go this year?
I have not. No, I've never been. I've wanted to go, and just every year it just seems like it just hasn't worked out. So yeah, it's on my list. I definitely want to get to them because I hear they're great shows.
So this past year was awesome. They're going to be making a location change. It's going from Orlando to Austin, or just outside of Austin, early February. Beautiful resort. Pretty much everything is inclusive, minus the food. But like, they're going to have like the water park is included and all the other stuff too. Very great rate. So it should be a fun time. If you get an opportunity, hit that one up too.
Yeah.
But this week we're talking about the huge, gang. So if you want to get a ticket, hit us up. Write ticket in the chat and we'll enter you on the wheel for Friday. Again, Friday, 8:30 Eastern, we're going to have Grant Fields from Thunder Lighting on. He's going to join us. Like I said, I met Grant a few years back. Right when Meta came out with the glasses, I had picked up a pair. And it was the same year that I went. I think I saw you at the Standard. And I had been to the Huge the year before, and I still didn't really have that many friends in the industry. I mean, I knew some people or whatever, but I decided to go around and start asking people some questions. And I asked people 4 questions, and it was, what is your name and one of your titles? What do you do with that title? Who are you here to see? Like a vendor, speaker, and has mental health and or addiction affected you or a loved one? So I went around and I asked, I don't know, 50, 60 people. And the response I got was insane. Like 95% of the people answered yes. And so that's kind of where this whole show also got us started as well. Because I realized that, like you mentioned earlier, about not being alone and having these chats, and it kind of ties in with going to see your people at events like this. I think that these events are super important because it does help you. It's helps remind you again, like you said, that we're not alone when it comes to certain things. And regardless of where you live on the globe, or you know what I mean, we're all going through a different type of season. So sharing those wins and losses is also like the title, sharing wins, mistakes. Sharing those wins and losses with your friends is I think one great way to get through life, or at least try to.
I think we're all looking for community. And that's, I mean, you look at social media, that's basically what it is, right? It's just, there's community. That's what Facebook groups are, right? Like, it's a community and everybody loves that. And that's what these events are. It's a community of people in the same industry dealing with the same things. So you have so much in common that you might not even realize. And strip away the revenue and the number of trucks and all that. Like, it's all vanity, right? We're all people, and we all, have not all, but most have, families of some degree, and like, we're all just trying to get through it. So, if we can lean on each other, help each other out, man, that's all. Pass it forward to the person, share your experience of the lessons that you went through, so the person doesn't have to touch the hot stove, and feel it for themselves.
Dude, yes. So part of the reason I asked those questions a while back was because I'm a recovering alcoholic. And you said sharing experience. It's like in terminology that I learned from a different group. It was like sharing your experience, strength, and hope, man. Like, and if that's something that we can do, then that's really what matters. I don't know if you know Scott Aaron Krantz. He's the president of the IWCA, but he's in the chat too, and he's like, "Man, John's over here making me want to bail on my cousin's wedding and go to the Huge again." And he also followed that up with, he said, "The fellowship, it's what it's all about," and that's definitely what it is all about. So
that's one great thing that I found with the window cleaning and power washing, exterior cleaning, we'll call it, industry, is that fellowship is so strong, and it's pretty wild. Like, I was in the construction world prior to this, and there wasn't anything like this.
No.
So it was very actually refreshing to come in brand new that first, in 2013 at that first huge convention, seeing everybody just kind of be like, yeah, we're in the same boat. Just come on in with us. Like, let's just talk. And it was definitely, it was refreshing.
So some of the people that were there in 2013, 2014 are still around. And I wasn't around in the community I was as a window cleaner here in Phoenix, but I wasn't around in the community at that point. I didn't even know the window cleaning community, like, on the internet existed until about 6 years ago. But some of the people that helped put on that event are still around, and they've helped me and Deeds do this type of stuff. And they've created spaces for us to share. You know what I mean? And basically, man, we're super grateful for some of these cats, man. And I don't know if you've ever watched basically how we wrap up our shows. We're getting to be about that time, but you kind of like led me right into this. What we like to do at the end of the show is we like to give some thanks and give props or shout outs to anybody, that we'd like to. And right now, I'd love to have you, first off, I want to say thank you, but I'd love to have you give some shout outs or send some love to anybody, that you want to give some shout outs to.
Man, well, thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity to come on. I always love the opportunity to talk and share my story with, maybe people who haven't seen me or met me or heard me before. So, but I mean, my wife, it's kind of cliche, but she's been by my side the whole time. She was cool with me having this crazy idea to start this business in the first place. And it's been a roller coaster, but she works with me, side by side. I mean, she's come out in the past on a couple jobs with me. I got bleach, sprayed bleach on her, once or twice, accidentally, of course, but
sure.
But she's been there, and she's pretty mad about it, but we got over it. It was okay. But yeah, but as far as my journey goes, I think some people that I keep looking back to, there's a group of guys that was in my coaching group from the start that really, we're still friends. We still talk. Caleb Winiger is one of them that, he's an OG window cleaning guy.
Yeah, I got to get him on before the show, actually.
Yeah. So Caleb's great. Brandon Vaughn's been instrumental in our growth. He was our very first coach. Josh Latimer, like I said, Mike Dahlke, great human being. Love him. Man, I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's just JC Chanowski. Love that guy. He's great. If you haven't had him on yet, man, he's a good one too to have on the show. Nate Ferrier, he's up in Michigan. John Wojtowicz out in Maryland. These guys were Michael Grigory out in San Diego with Click Call Sell. These guys have just been they've contributed so much to my life and our growth in business that it's just been phenomenal. So love every single one of them. And that's one of the reasons why I love going to these events, right? Is I get to be able to see these people again and literally just shake hands, give them a hug and share a meal with them.
Yes.
And that's when it gets like, I love that. It's worth the trip for sure. Just to be able to see him again.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Deeds, who you got?
Yeah, just thanks everybody. Thank you, John, for coming on. You're a wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate your story and everything you do for the industry. And thank you. That's I need to get up to level 2 or 3, so I'm kind of working on it. It's been a couple of years in progress, but someday I'll get there. Thank you, Jason, co-hosting. It's fun. Thank you everyone for watching. It's fun to share stories like John's story this morning with everybody. So thank you, and then everybody, Zero WCR. Making it a great week. I think Zero might have a last day of a 25% off sale today, maybe.
20%.
20%. Yeah, let's check it out.
Faux show. So yes, absolutely. I want to thank Deeds. We've been doing this now 215, 20 some odd episodes. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 Eastern. John, I want to thank you. And I want to thank our friends who have popped in this morning. Nick Williams, Nick Anderson, Scott Aaronkranz, Codreen, all you guys. So you just saw John on the pod. If you're going to the Huge and you walk past him, stop him, say hello, introduce yourself. I promise he won't bite. Say what up, tell him you saw him on the Goo and Deed show, and you appreciate what he had to say. I know I sure as hell did.
Yeah,
thanks to Frank.
I'd love to chat, have conversations with anybody. If you've got specific questions, you want to go deeper on anything that I mentioned or talked about, I'm happy to do it. That's what I love. I love having conversations like that with people at the shows.
Well, it's organic. It's fun. It's a great place. I mean, that's what we're there for, really. So yeah, go say hey. I want to say thank you to Chris and Alex at WCR Zero and Sorbo for helping us and allowing us to put this on and the Pro Window Cleaning Group and to help us grow our page. We are now officially at over 500 followers on our Goo and Deeds page, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, I want to give the friends in the Shine On group some shine. They did a small squeegee challenge earlier this week, and it's been a lot of fun watching people's videos. They're creating content and cleaning big panes of glass with itty bitty little squeegees. So if you haven't done that yet, go out there and do it. Give a Shine On a tag and yeah, I think it's on TikTok. I think they're doing it also in the Pro Window Cleaning Group. I'm not exactly sure where, but I posted mine there. So yeah, if you want to get in, get in. Sid and the gang at the Huge. You mentioned Delkey. He's another one that I want to get on the show. He seems fascinating to me. Stations with him, and every time I'm done, I'm like, damn, I should have asked him this right after I left.
Yeah.
So
that man is a wealth of knowledge and as humble as they come. So he's a great human being.
Yeah, he was one of the people. I didn't know who he was really. But he was one of the guys that I interviewed. And I got Latimer's wife. So she was milling around doing interviews and she's like, "Hey, can I ask you a few questions?" And I was like, yeah, but only if you answer a couple of mine. And so she's asking me on camera and I'm getting her while I'm, you know what I mean? It was quite fun. So yeah, guys, go to these events, go see what it's all about. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it, dude. Thank you again for popping on, John. It's been a great time. I really look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, 26th, 27th, and 28th. Everybody get out to the Gaylord in Orlando. What do you tell him at the end of the show, Deeds? What happened to his voice?
Yeah, I got squirrels. Change your resin and your rubbers, guys. Make sure the rubbers, no streaks.
Yeah, change your rubbers. I hope your guys' passion buckets are full. If not, tune in on Friday where we're going to give away a ticket to the Huge. We're going to talk to Grant Fields from Thunder Lighting. Stay up, stay gold. Have a great week.
See you guys. Thanks, John.